I've been scarred and I've been bruised. I have learned just what to do. I need to leave my past behind me. I need to look to the future. No matter what will come, no matter what I've done, I know just what to do. And that's all because of you.
Hello UK family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy Tuesday. My name is Z Mavumengwana and I am the host behind this very rapidly growing family. Guys, I'm so excited to grow alongside you. I think we are reaching a certain level of self-disclosure in the comment section. You know, that's how normal relationships go. The more you trust the relationship, the more you trust the relationship to bring yourself forth. I feel like I'm learning a lot about you. I'm picking up your names and I've got a feeling as well that one of these days I'm going to shoot something that introduces myself to you guys, because healthy relationships are always reciprocal. But while that hasn't happened, I've got a beautiful guest with me today. I promised last time, but guest, and I thought, hey, why not? And this is well timed, as you can see on the screen. It's coming right at the time where everybody's dieting to fetch their body, right in time for summer. And I thought, actually, before siqalise ukhangelisa amabhodi, let's do it with a different approach and a different mentality this time. And I've brought a perfect person to be able to do that with you guys, especially because society is such a system of averages. It rewards people that fall within an average cohort. So if you're an average weight, if you're an average complexion, doesn't do an average complexion, but don't be on the extremities. Otherwise, society judges you hectically. This is especially so in the weight game, that if you are somewhat in what society considers average, it accepts you, it rewards you, irrespective of health. Are you healthy or not? You just have to fall within this normalized average. And if you fall within the extremities, there's a certain level of being ostracized that you experience and you internalize. And we're talking exactly to that today, especially towards the extremities of being overweight and what that does to the human psyche and the experience of living in a body that society doesn't accept, so much that if you want to belong in society, it's hard for you to accept that body as well. I'm sitting with a person that has lived a very erratic relationship with her body and has reached a point of interacting with her body from a place of love, and is here to share insights of what a difference it makes to your self-image, to your self-perception, and to your weight loss journey if you're actually treating your body from a place of love instead of punishing it for not looking like what you want it to look like. I've got my colleague and friend Papa Mama Kalima in studio today. Drum roll! Papi, thank you for being back. She doesn't like the camera, she doesn't like being here. She's my friend. I'm pulling rank, so I don't even care. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me back.
Thank you for letting me pull rank. Thank you for letting me pull rank. It's that time again. I'll give a bit of context as to why I think you are the best person for this. In the entire duration I have known you, in the entire duration that I've known you, you have attempted so many different diets.
Oh my goodness.
So many different diets in varying degrees of strange, right? And it is now where you're actually not dieting that you actually, first of all, losing weight without trying to lose weight, but you're actually losing weight. And you kind of, I don't want to say you don't care what weight you are at a given stage. You treat your body the same, you nurture your body the same, and actually your weight goals have now been consistent. Whereas when you were trying so much to delete this body you dislike, it actually didn't work, despite how aggressive your dieting was.
Exactly.
What has changed? Weigh in on those insights. What has been the difference in mind shift?
Yeah. Just as you said, I've tried like almost everything that is out there. I don't even want to mention them. Whatever diet that you know, I've tried it. I've tried it. But actually at this point in time, I'm not dieting. And also when I started this, I wanted to lose weight. But in the journey, I discovered, you know what, I'm trying so hard to try to lose this weight, but in actual fact, I'm punishing myself. And also, I'm miserable. And being miserable had a counter effect on what I'm trying to do. So I've changed a lot of things, especially my mindset. I'm no longer dieting. in terms of like restricting myself, but I now choose what I eat, and I don't see food as good or bad. So I would be eating veggies and like meat and high protein and all those things. And in actual fact, when I feel like I want to eat what you call junk food, I eat it without feeling or thinking to myself, I am cheating or this is my cheat meal. I don't have a cheat meal. And the food that I eat, I first think, what am I going to benefit from this? Instead of thinking, I'm not going to eat that and that because it's going to cause me to gain more weight. I only focus on
what am I benefiting?
What am I benefiting from this food?
And
it
quite
has
frankly,
changed
empty
a lot.
food is empty food irrespective of your weight. You know, unhealthy food remains unhealthy food irrespective of who is eating it. So if a person can objectify the food itself, what is good for my body in this food? It doesn't matter how much you weigh. Bad food is bad food. You know, it's not like thin people have a greater room of eating bad food and it's gonna not be bad. Bad food is bad food. An interesting question that isn't openly discussed, which is actually the driver behind trying to lose weight. What does weight feel like? What does being overweight feel like? What is with the aggressive and continuous attempts to not be overweight? Because most people aren't doing this on the recommendation of a doctor. Most it's self-imposed. You know, some people obviously will be like, no, I want to be healthier. But most people that have self-esteem issues from weight don't even mention health. It's a psychological thing that there's something unwelcomed about being a particular weight to a lot of people. And I don't know for the life of me, what does it feel like to be chubby? What does it feel like to err on the side of being outside what society considers to be average weight? And obviously it's even becoming more towards the thin side now. And obviously if you're not that, I don't know what that feels like to live in, because your body is a permanent residence. You live there all the time. I can't imagine what it's like if you hate living there. What does it feel like to be overweight?
To be overweight, it feels you carrying your own body, actually. So there isn't much difference in terms of how it feels like in actual fact. But I think the society has programmed us to think if you look a certain way, this is how you should be feeling about yourself. And if it's okay with you, can I make an example to illustrate this? I'm not sure if any of you guys have tried to lose weight and you feel like when you reach a certain weight, kilograms, and you feel like, oh my goodness, I feel so healthy, I feel so fit, I feel you actually love your body. And then when you look back, when you were that size, you were feeling miserable. You were feeling heavy, you were feeling fat, you were feeling all sort of things. It's the same weight, it's the same person, but how you're feeling about it is different. I think also the addiction of always wanting to be different, of always wanting to find something that is faulty about you. I think it's that stay. And also we're always trying to get something that we don't have.
That is actually very true. That is very true. It's like the acceptable weight is the one you are not.
Yes.
Because every time you reach a certain point where you thought, even doesn't fit a that actually would be good for me, but as soon as you get to that, there's another modification you are trying to become.
Exactly. And like when you talk to people and they'll be like, yo, what are you doing? You have lost so much weight. Tell me what you're doing. I want to try it. I really feel like I need to lose weight. And you look at this person and you're thinking, what do you want to lose? And so what I'm trying to say is that
it's subjective.
It's subjective. It's subjective because it doesn't matter how big you are or how small you are. I think the society has just programmed us to think,
don't be okay with you.
Yes.
Don't be okay with you, because this is the case for eating disorders as well, especially the ones that have a restrictive element to them, that it doesn't matter how thin people actually are, they still feel like it's a self-image thing, that I'm too fat. Even if medical doctors are telling you stop dieting, you're actually sick now, and they still feel like it's a perception thing.
Yeah, and with that said as well, there are benefits when you lose weight.
Of course.
For example, with me, I find that my energy levels have increased. And it's not just about losing the fat. it's how you lose it, because now I'm more active. I guide my nutrition, so it's not just about losing the kilometers, but it's the things that you do to want to lose weight. Same applies when you try to diet and you're constantly thinking, I need to eat this, I need not to eat that. You are so preoccupied and you are straining your body, you are straining your mind, and your emotions are starting to sink. Whereas in the first place, what made you gain the weight? You haven't checked it. You're busy concentrating on the food. And you find out most of the time the food is just a byproduct of what has caused you to be in a certain position in life.
Yeah, there's also a whole lot of negative commentary people that are overweight attract from people, which normally makes their attempts even harder. And this is especially sensitive because most of the causes behind weight gain are things people typically can't control or are struggling with. Most people that are actually ill, there's normally a weight consequence to illness, whether you pick up weight or you lose weight. So there's normally a sensitivity behind the reasoning. Most people that are put on certain medication, normally the consequence is weight. So irrespective of what is the cause behind the weight, it's unlikely to be a good thing. Even if people are gaining weight because of eating food, the lack of inhibition of stopping yourself isn't something they're proud of. This, I can't stop eating, but I know it's bad for me. I can't defy the cravings. I'm not resilient enough to withstand the comfort eating when I'm sad. So it doesn't matter what the cause is. It's unlikely to be something that they're proud of. Most people that are sick lose weight. Most people that are actually put on medication gain weight. There is normally a reason. It's thyroid problems. It's this and that. It's psychotropic medication. It's a lot of things that make people gain weight. It is food as well. And even when it is food, it's hardly ever something the person gaining the weight is proud of. And by the way, in modern society, everybody owns a mirror. It's very rare that the person you are talking to is unaware of how they look and how much they weigh. It's almost impossible that an overweight person has not looked at the mirror and seen that they're overweight. I'm trying to encourage you that no matter how generous you are with commentary, that one is kind of unnecessary. It's kind of unnecessary. Nobody's looking for it. It doesn't add value. What does it feel like when you are battling with this internal struggle and an outside person points it out to you?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. That's a difficult one because you're already struggling already. And when someone else points it out to you, first of all, you think I don't know. And secondly, it's unkind. It's unkind. I wouldn't advise anyone to do it to anyone else because you're actually thinking, I am struggling with this. Now I'm struggling with the fact that there are people that are reminding you of the same thing that you're really struggling with. And they don't know things that you're struggling with. I mean, as you said, there is medication that some of us, we have gained weight because of being put on certain medication that we won't go around plugging into ourselves that, okay, I've gained this weight and this is the medication I was taking for me to gain this weight.
And another interesting question is, there's something that approval does to us. When somebody validates that I approve of you. Approval is like an intrinsic thing that we all need. It feels good when we know the in-group accepts us or people that matter to us accept us. This is especially the case in romantic relationships because there's a currency with the body. Because things like sexual activity rest on arousal and somebody being attracted to your body, the one area where most people that battle with their weight struggle in is in the context of romantic relationships. Because for the first time, as soon as now opinion about your weight matters and you're about to find out just how much, it's not something you can run away from. In the context of romantic relationships, and if you've got a partner that is battling with their weight or doesn't have a good relationship with their weight, what advice can you give to those people? It's not their responsibility, but because they already shared that space with them, there's helpful ways you can engage with when you are dealing with somebody who's insecure about what they look like, precisely because you're the only person in the room and your reaction to what they look like matters, because sex is literally trying to say, I want you to be impressed with how I look.
With how I look, exactly.
Yes, I want you to be impressed with how I look, and they're already coming in knowing, I'm not even impressed with how I look, and now it matters a lot what that other person on the other side thinks of how I look.
Actually, while you were speaking, I'm thinking of some jokes I would see on Facebook. people will say, I've seen people saying that they would like say to their partners, babe, how do I look? And they'll be like, you're so beautiful. And actually, what they're trying to say is they're asking, am I fat? And they're like, you look so beautiful. That was not the question. They're asking if you are fat or not. So I think in romantic partners, you know your partner is having this insecurity. So showing support
And compassion.
Showing support, and also, yes, maybe you wouldn't, sometimes you don't really like certain parts, which they also don't like, but there are things about you they've learned to accept. So also as a partner, you need to accept certain things, and also, like commenting on what you think about them, how you feel about them, and also, when they look good, they don't just look good when they're wearing clothes. In the morning when they wake up and there's no specific thing that they have put much more effort on, commenting on how much you think they're beautiful really helps with the way they look to themselves.
Yeah, that is actually very true. And I think, I suppose from learning about our friendship is also how weight is always subliminally restricted from participating in certain things. I know literally there were things that you only started doing and activities you only started doing when you felt like it's not going to be embarrassing when they do the whole weight check thing, because most things have cut-offs and limits and so society really does send a message that we can't accommodate you further past a certain weight, we can't accommodate you further past a certain weight, and those things are really hurtful. They're
really hurtful, but with that, we also need to take into consideration that some of them, they have to have those restrictions. It has been my motivation to really check my weight and focus on, trying to lose it. I am trying to lose weight, just that I'm not focusing on how much weight do I have.
It's not punishment.
I don't even know how much weight I have lost already. So, for example, horse riding. I love horse riding. I mean, if you are a certain weight and they only have horses that are a certain age, it matters how much you weigh. And so we also need to take into consideration that, yes, society has put restrictions around us, but there are things that we really have to be accepting of. We can't say just because now they have restrictions and that should be taken away because every size matters. Yes, every size matters, but
the size of the horse is the size of
the size of the horse, exactly. Yeah.
I suppose reframing is also very important when you look at these things, because then you can be losing weight to buy yourself autonomy and lack
of choosing of things you want to do.
Yes. So it's a different thing when you are rewarding yourself of experiences that I love my body so much. I want it to enjoy all of the experiences that are potentially available for it to enjoy. That I love my body so much. Remember, our bodies host us. We put them through so much, especially in modern society with the kind of jobs we do. Our bodies really, really host us. We put it through different changing climatic conditions. We feed it so many weird things that are completely unnecessary. And here, men, we push it. We push it past what recommendations are saying of when you should sleep, how much water you drink, and our bodies show up continuously. They bullet past flu seasons. They survive in pandemics. Like, your body is on your side, constantly on your side. And there is something beautiful when you work from a point of, I'm also on your side. And you make it a lifelong commitment that I will wake up and I'll show up for you as you wake up and show for me. Yes,
especially with exercise. Yeah,
so if you look at those things as nurturing, that I'm looking out for you. I look out for you to whatever capacity I can on that day. Even if I'm just skipping 20 skips, I look out for you. When you send signals to me and X to me, I'm going to respond. It's a commitment like any commitment. Take your spouse, take your job, anything you committed to. You don't always like it, you don't always accept it, you don't always feel overly generous towards it, but you wake up and honor your commitment every day. Your body will host you up until the day you run out of days on earth. It hosts your organs, it hosts your brain, it hosts everything about you. You need it. And I think the weight loss journey becomes different when you acknowledge that I need your body and I need you at your best. And we can't run away from the fact that when you are not overweight and obese and ill, it performs at its best. So when you engage from that point that I want the ice cream, I've already had it twice today, but I need you. I need you 10 years later to still be functional, and you'll function less when I feed myself this. Punitive dieting is unsustainable. You can't hate yourself into a better version of yourself. It doesn't work. But you can always, more love brings more love.
Yeah.
So when you honor your body because you love it, you push it, you believe in it to try things you never thought it was capable of trying. So you're not punishing it and hating on the yoga people, but you're pushing it that I trust you. You're capable of so many beautiful things. I want you to try that as well. Then you try the yoga. That, oh, I trust you. I want you to last maybe 10 minutes longer on the treadmill this time. You are majestic and beautiful. You are capable of so many things. You are transformative. Your last question, you've always been pretty. Did you think you're pretty? Oh, Dad. Guys, what are you doing? Carpet. And I've always wondered, you've always been pretty because there's always a relationship between the face and weight. People think I'm thinner now, so I'm prettier. But you've always been pretty.
Now I know that. Now I know that.
Babes!
Now I actually look back, I'm like, God.
You've been pretty. She's always been a standing person, guys. But the most important thing is that you must sit with your friends long enough until they learn that for themselves and reinforce it up until it's undisputable. Take pictures with them. Enhance the clothes that make them look better. Choose those clothes with them. Shop those clothes for them. Present them with the things that bring out their best selves. Be overt about how proud you are of their weight attempts. And the more objective evidence that's deleting the internal voices, the more it can replace the ugly voices. So as you fetch your body this time, I pray that you do it from a place of love, and the people that you share spaces with in your life, I hope, support you in your endeavors to fetch the best version of yourself. And if that best version is best obtained through shedding of weight, then do that. But don't punish yourself. Your body honors you, keeps you alive, keeps you healthy. Do it to the favor of returning that grace back to it by facilitating the best odds via food, activity, and whatever else you can give it to ensure that it stays in its best shape for the longest time that you can. Guys, for something different. Yes, especially when it comes to the relationship people have with their bodies when they've been traumatized. This is something that we couldn't cover today. We mostly relied on food today, but there's different body complexities when your body's been violated, or when your body was the vehicle that attracted a certain thing. You relate differently to it. If somebody lusted after your body, you hate this body. Or if somebody raped you and they deposited semen into your body, you don't want this body. There's different complexities when it comes to the weight gain. We can't cover it in 20 minutes, but I hope as you're attempting your diets and getting back in shape, because you're going to reveal your body in short clothes and whatever, that this segment helps in achieving a bit of a mind shift so you can approach those diets a little bit differently. Thank you, Debabs. Thank you. Bye.